Hey y'all, as you may have already heard, we're fairly new to gardening, but we learned early on that we needed to invest in some tools that would make our garden tasks more manageable. So we narrowed it down to our top 5 can't do without tools that we wanted to share with you today. But there is one that we use every single day. Now these aren't presented in a preferred order, meaning like we're not saying that number one's our favorite, but these are things that we think that they've made a considerable difference in the way we garden, and let us tell you about it. So in our neighbor's yard, we have a pecan tree over here, and on this side, behind our maple tree, we have an oak tree, and both of those trees set seed through, of course, pecans or through an acorn. And we have squirrels because there's so many trees in our neighborhood, and those squirrels are their own little personal gardeners, and they like to bury the seeds, and then those seeds pop up in our garden beds and in our yard as deep tap-rooted saplings that we have spent hours trying to pull up out of the yard or out of the garden bed, only for them to snap off with the seeds still in the ground. And you see in a week or so the sapling re-emerge, and you couldn't even tell that we had spent any effort in trying to eradicate it to begin with. My husband was standing in a long line in Lowe's in the garden center, and the impulse buy got him. He looked over and saw this Fiskars hand weeding tool, and it wasn't but like $7, and he thought, what do I have to lose? So we used this guy to pull up those saplings and get the seed too. So let us show you how it's done.
So the sapling's here, and if you go to pull on it, it's not coming up. It's gonna break if I keep pulling it. But this little $7 buy here allows me to go underneath and pull up, and it pulls out, and there's the seed as well.
All right, so I bent down and tore the top off of it. So if I put the tool down, I can feel and I can see the pecan right there. So I know that that's what that is, and there you go. Here's one earlier that when I was out in the yard, I tried to pull up, and of course it broke off. And that's with us having had a lot of rain, so the ground's fairly soft. So some weeds have this really deep taproot, and that tool is great for it as well. So you can see this is a very useful tool. It said it's a Fiskars weeder. I think it's like 200S or something like that is the model number. It's got this, it's kind of sharp on the end, and it's great for weeds, for tree saplings, in the grass or the flower bed. All right, the next thing we wanted to share with y'all was the Felco 2s. They're famous on YouTube amongst gardeners, and so we thought there must be something special about those. And guess what? They're pretty special. So they are super durable, and they have like a weight to them. And so when you're tackling like these really big jobs that maybe the limb is a little bit more stout than a flimsy, you really have the confidence to go in there after them. It's super sharp blades, and it's really cool that you can take them apart, and you can get from them the stone and to make the blade sharper, and anyways, and have them all ready to go again. So I did that at the beginning of the season, and they've had a lot of use since then, so they're looking a little rough. But anyways, they also have this really cool spring right here that allows you to quickly be able to trim through things. Highly recommend those. The one tool that we use absolutely every day, except for right now when we're dodging rain showers, is this Glahoden retractable hose. And we researched this and decided to get the Glahoden because it had a 1/2 inch hose that was stretched out 115 feet. We have a 1/2 acre lot, and we only have one hose connector in our backyard, and so we needed a hose that could be stationary and could reach the whole the whole entire yard. And because of that, we chose this one. There was only a few that were longer than 115 feet. We're really pleased with this one because not only does it reach our whole yard, but it also maintains good water pressure throughout, even when it's extended its longest distance. So my husband did put in this post for it to hang on, but it came with all of the necessary accessories to mount it to something. And we chose to put it onto this post here, right next to the connector. And then it'll pivot back and forth so we can get from one side of the yard to the other with ease without having to come back and wrangle it in any kind of way. All right, so we're gonna unwind it and let y'all see exactly how far it goes. We need all of the 115 feet in order to get all of our plants. If it was any shorter, we would not be able to reach everything. All right, so they have this little piece of tape, and that pretty much tells you that's as far as it can go. There's my husband back there holding the hose at the end, and so it can reach our hanging baskets. And then I typically swing it to the right to go all the way over here to the tea olives and the knee wall. And that's kind of how I water everything. And when I'm done, I just give it a slight tug and it starts winding it back up.
Another tool that we really enjoy and has helped us out a lot is the Gorilla Cart. These come in a lot of different sizes, but we chose this size because it moves easily, stores easily in our garage beside the car, but it also is hefty enough to carry the things that we use on our lot. This is a dump cart, and what that means is it's got a handle that you can pull here and lift up if you're carrying mulch or sand or anything like that, and it just dumps right out onto the ground. These have air tires, so you do have to pump those up periodically, but it's also got a zero turn to maneuver through tight spaces. So it is something that, quite honestly, has saved me from having to carry bags of mulch or having to carry, all the plants we bought from the driveway back into the garden. So.
And last but not least is this little stool. It has been a great lifesaver for my knees. It keeps me from having to get up from the ground and gives me just enough elevation where I can reach a little bit easier to get the plant that's in the front of the border and to be able to reach a little bit to get the plant in the back. And then this one in particularly, we got it on Amazon, and there's tons to choose from. But this one we had a little pouch attached to it, which works out perfect because I kind of keep all of my tools right there next to me. But if you want to, you can take the pouch off and you can flip it over and make it a kneeler. And then you can use these as arms to help you get up off of your knees if you have a hard time with your mobility and need a little bit of extra to give you to get up out of the ground. So whether you're doing the daily task of watering, you're picking weeds, you're pruning, or even hauling in mulch, whatever your gardening task, it seems like these covered the basics of things that you do on a regular basis with gardening. And these were what we thought were the top picks for us. We'd love to hear from y'all. Please tell us in the comments, what's your favorite tool that you use in the garden? Is it one that we have, or is it one that we haven't heard of maybe? Do us a favor and tell us in the comments and share with us how it changed your gardening experience. Y'all have a great day.